Good morning, footy fans, and welcome to CK and Thringy's Out on the Full, the final round of the minor season. And what a round it is, with 3 out of 4 games having an impact on the finals. We'll start off with Central District taking on the Glenelg Football Club. The winner of this match taking out the minor premiership. No real consequence for the loser, however. I think Central Districts will be pretty happy with either a win or a loss. Obviously, they prefer the win, but I don't think they'd be too disappointed heading into the campaign minus that favouritism tag.
Look, probably not. They were a bit flat last week against Sturt, I thought, and that's just a little bit of a concern for them, but we do know they ramp up the training heavily around this time of the year, so it's probably to be expected. Glenelg, devastating final corner against Nord. That really was very dominant and has thrown them right into the box seat for a crack at the minor premiership. Travelling to the Ponderosa is another story, though. I think Central's, their grit will come into play here at Elizabeth, and in front of the home crowd, they'll pinch the minor flag. Port
Adelaide take on North Adelaide. It's the only game that doesn't have an impact on the finals. Despite that, these two teams have a lot of rivalry specifically dating back to the start of the year, Chris, so we know it's going to be a pretty tight, fierce affair. But judging on last week's performance, I think North Adelaide will start their pre-season with a win.
Gee, we're not having a good day here because I disagree with you again. I think the Magpies are going to finish off the season on what's been a pretty good 2010 for them realistically with another win. That takes nothing away from North Adelaide because they were fantastic against the Eagles last week, and well done to all the creative prospect they needed that one. Week off for the Magpies, a lot on the line here. Just want to finish off the season on a good note. I reckon they'll do so in front of the home crowd.
Looking at Sunday's games, and Norwood takes on West Adelaide. The situation for these two sides, Chris, is pretty simple. They need to win. Norwood win, they finish 3rd. Lose, they finish 4th. West Adelaide need to win. They need Sturt to lose to even make the finals. So there's sort of equal desire there, I think. But in terms of class, I think Norwood have got West's measure.
We're back on the same page again. Good to see. Yeah, I think so too, Thringy. I think the North are just going to play more attacking football than what West Adelaide will. And you're right, there is just so much on the line here. Westies, they did play some good patches last week against South, don't get me wrong, and they were more attacking, but it was against South Adelaide. You've got to take that in mind there. West, I think, would have to kick 13 or 14 goals for this to be a real show, and I don't see they're going to do that against Norwood. So there's going to be two teams, they're going to be battling each other pretty hard on the park. They're both going to have one eye on the scoreboard, though, like the old days of the 70s, looking for the race results.
And what's probably the match of the round, my match of the round, the Eagles take on Sturt. And amazingly enough, Chris, both clubs actually have the opportunity to finish 3rd and pinch that double spot. They both need to win, and they need West to beat Norwood, but it's possible.
Absolutely, anything's possible with this. Now, the Eagles were disappointing against North Adelaide, but it's almost a loss they needed to have in some ways, but I don't think that's the way Mick Godden would look at it. And Sturt, well, they've timed their run like Mackay Diva at the top of the Flemington Straight. They're coming home with a rush. Don't you worry about that.
Darkies.
The real dark horse, I think. Actually, both of these teams are real dark horses if they can get through into the right positions. I reckon just at home, Woodville West Torrens, in my opinion, though. We know that Chambers does play pretty well against them as a rule. He did kick 11 at this ground a couple of seasons back. He needs about that to try and pinch the Ken Farmer medal from Todd Grimer too at the moment. I hope Todd has a bad one. I don't think that'll happen. I don't think Sturt will get over the line. Woodville West Torrens to finish on a positive note.
Well, I think the latter's going to finish at the end of this round. Glenelg will be on top. They'll claim the minor premiership. Central's in 2nd. Norwood in 3rd. Sturt to take 4th spot. And the Eagles to round out the top 5. How does that sound?
I reckon we'll swap Glenelg and Central around. I think Central will win the minor premiership, and I think maybe swap Sturt and the Eagles around as well. I think Eagles will probably finish 4th, Sturt 5th, but you're right, so many permutations, and I know that Thringy's been working the calculator beautifully. He's done a fine job, the man.
Well, there you go, a ripper last round. I'm excited. Next week's the finals. We'll see you then.